G'day guys, Chewy here and welcome back to some more coverage of Warlords of Drona, where today we're going to be looking at the Warlock and talking about the changes that have happened in 6.1. But first of all, this obviously is a Blood Elf, and obviously a big part of the patch remake is the Blood Elves have had a makeover. So they've been upgraded, they've got the new features, they're looking a lot better than the previous makeups, and there's definitely a lot more definition, but they've still got that Blood Elf feel. So there is a new character model for anyone that is playing a Blood Elf. It has been revitalized, and this is a rework project. As for the class itself, let's jump back over to the Warlock. So there's been some changes to the Warlock, and again it's some more of that smoothing and narrowing out the abilities to make everyone on a level playing field. Of course, taken into consideration, some classes have more beneficial abilities than others in certain situations. But let's focus on the Warlock. So, with the Warlock, we should probably talk about, first up, the changes in terms of the talents would be a good one to start at. So basically with the talents, some of the significant changes that you'll get, and we'll start in the Affliction, is now when you cast Cataclysm, you actually get an application of your Curse of Agony and also Unstable Affliction when applied in a PvE or PvP environment. So obviously that there is a increase from the previous setup that was set up with the previous patch. In terms of some other interesting abilities that have been complemented for the Warlock, is there is also an increase to Kill Jaden's Cunning. Basically what it is a buff. It used to be a 1 minute cooldown, but now it's chiseled down to about a 35-second cooldown, so you can basically cast that a little bit more freely, which more of a, I guess, destruction sort of thing that you want to be going for. That there is quite good if you're going to go in a destruction sort of path in your PvP adventures. Some other interesting changes which they've also done to the Warlock for 6.1 is Charred Remains. Obviously Charred Remains is in the Destruction talent, which I don't have up here, but basically what those changes are is it now reduces the incineration damage by only 50% when it used to be about 60%. So obviously that's a little bit of a difference in that one there if you're going for the Charred Remains talent. Some general buffs that apply to Affliction and Destruction is the Grimoire of Sacrifice, and basically what that does now is when you activate that and you sacrifice your demon, you get an increase of the spell effects of up to 25%, when previously to this it was about 20%, so that there is a buff in itself. Another thing to take into consideration now is the Grimoire of Service, when casted in arena or PvE environments, summons a second demon, which is for 25 seconds basically, and that is up from 20 seconds, so you're going to have a second bad boy in the arena or in your PvE environment to have some fun with. That there is probably some of the rework talents that we should be touching on for 6.1. Obviously there's been some general also changes to stats, and I think there's been a slight damage reduction in one of the demonology spells. I can't quite remember it unfortunately, but one of these spells did get a debuff on one of your basic spells. Other than that, there hasn't been any significant changes to the Warlock which would make it detrimental or a serious nerf per se, except I think there was a nerf in the demonology. I apologise guys, I can't recall of it right now. But in terms of using your Affliction Warlock or your Destruction, definitely some improvements on some skill sets there. So, like usual, I'll jump into some arena action straight after this, maybe some threes comps, start to get some wins and do that mount grind. But look, really, enjoy the new character model. Not too much significant changes on the Warlock, no serious nerfs, no over-the-top buffs, just pretty much an equal balancing of skills. Enough of the talk about the stat changes. Again, I'm not really going to go for a different sort of approach in the stats I'm going for. In terms of talents, I'm still ticking to the Demonic Servitude for my arena action. I know you could probably go the Soulbone Haunt, but I just kind of like it. In terms of this sort of area here, I'll probably just keep the second charge of my Archmonde's Darkness. Again, I keep the Grimoire of Supremacy, because obviously I want to get that pumped up Terror Guard. And I'll probably usually keep the Blood Horror Soul Link. You can vice versa off with your Sacrificial Pack. For threes, I really prefer the Shadow Fury. Howl of Terror is also good, but I really do prefer that. Dark Regeneration, definitely better than the rest of them. And again, no massive changes to macros. Same old guys. Let's jump into some threes and check this out in 6.1. Alright guys, welcome to some threes action, and we're going up for a bit of a team comp. Basically we're going for the Hunter Paladin Warlock combo, and we're up against a quick team, and that is against a Arms Warrior, a Frost Mage, and a Restoration Druid. So I guess against this matchup, and in 6.1 taking into consideration the changes we just talked about, we've definitely got the right build for the opponents, I believe. Definitely going to be keeping the Shadow Fury here for the stun. It's definitely a lot more useful than the Howl of Terror. In terms of focus, oh, geez, you know what? You could burn that Mage pretty hard, but if we keep that Druid feared and maybe in a bit of a lock with some traps and really focus down that Arms Warrior, it's probably our best strategy. And the reason why I say the Arms Warrior is me and the Survival Hunter are all about dots pretty much. So if we can keep that Druid comfortably busy and off the heels and we smash him with enough dots, we might be able to nail this team pretty quickly. So obviously a key part of any sort of Warlock match is getting a good placement on your abilities. You can see there that my Blood Horror kicked in. I went for a really early Shadow Fury here because you can see the Hunter is probably going to, the Arms Warrior is probably going to drop all of his abilities shortly. Oh my god, look at that. We almost had him just there. You can see we got him down so low. Probably in that sort of instance there, I focused too much on draining the soul and not enough of the fearing. So here you can see I'm getting in a good little spot where I can sort of keep that. And here he is. Oh my god. Oh, I think the Druid. Where's the Druid? Yep. Get the Druid. Fear him. Jeez, that was too close. Really close calls there. Maybe there was a trap that was missed that we couldn't see on the screen, but you can see how quick that dot burst just melted that warrior. As long as we can keep this Druid, I guess, CC'd and maybe in a bit of a stun fear lock, mixing up with our traps and also our Shadow Fury, we should be right here. Some really good applications of my Demonic Circle there, saving my ass. You can see that the Arms Warrior is able to get some pretty nasty bursts. So you can see I'm just coming around the corner here to get right near the pally. A beautiful Hand of Freedom cast on me. I'm trying to make some grounding in front of the warrior, and I think we're just doing a bit of a loop here, so you can see how frustrating it can be if you don't keep the pressure. And I think what we're trying to do is sort of peel him away from the healer there a little bit, and then I thought, you know what, I need to get a bit closer because I need to get some fears down on this bad boy. Not only that, Unstable Affliction is also really good there. You can see a beautiful little port there, getting into a position there to put some harass on the Druid and some dots on his head. You can see I'm just trying to get into a good little lineup there with the Druid, but unfortunately he's off cam again, and it looks like the Frost Trap, caught the Mage, which is most unfortunate. You really want to be getting that Druid because he's obviously got a lot of ways of dispelling that stuff. Quick Shadow Fury to keep the warrior. Oh, he just did his Trinket proc. We're just trying to get closer to that Druid. I mean, if we can just get him in a nice sphere, it'd be awesome. Maybe a nice interrupt. God damn it, polymorph. I must say for the Mage, I know he's doing a few polymorphs now. He hasn't really been hammering it as hard as he could have. I was probably expecting a lot more. You can see I'm just applying a fear. I probably applied it a few seconds too late there, so you want to apply it just as you think the trap's about to end. But in the midst of all that chaos, guys, our dots just consume the warrior, so pretty much at this point, it's wreak havoc and just keep that Druid feared. And this is a beautiful quick stun. He was trying to do his Ring of Frost there, and I managed to Shadow Fury stun him, which was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. At this point, we pretty much nailed it in the bag, guys. It was a really awesome quick threes match. Could have had a couple of opportunities there. We could have ended it a bit earlier. Not too bad on the Affliction lock, and yeah, awesome. I'm really liking the changes they've done. I know it's nothing major for the Warlock, but it's still definitely cool, and it really hasn't affected my playstyle and how I'm going in the ring at present. And here comes the win. The Lonely Druid is surviving for the curses. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and a quick catch-up on what's changed in 6.1. And really looking forward to some of the other classes that have changed as well. It's definitely going to be an interesting season, especially for the Warlock. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.